Hello, Younger Road here and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about, well, a recap I suppose about my biking year of 2023. Stay tuned and watch the intro. So, what has happened during this past year? Well, the answer is not a great deal. The tours have been a bit thin on the ground and the ones I did were not as good as usual. The weather has been so wet and miserable for a lot of the time, and now we have to endure the dark nights and the worst is to come. And for me that is Christmas. Yes, Ebenezer Grinch mode now engaged. I just don't do Christmas, and I have not done for so many years. But it's got worse since I sort of went down with grumpy old man syndrome. I really envy my mate's Toy Toys, as he's in hibernation now and he'll just miss the dreary months. My first tour of the year was at the end of March and it was down to Kent, but only the sort of the north coastal area. Now everywhere does seem better when the sun is shining, but for the 4 days we were there, we never seen the sun. Everywhere was just so dull and dismal. It was damp. Just not a good experience. We absolutely got soaked to the skin on the return journey. Couldn't see a thing with the spray. In fact, it was borderline dangerous. Upon my return, I decided to make a video of the trip, but I didn't have any decent footage. It was just all, horrible. So I just deleted the lot in tempo. The next trip was to the Isle of Wight and it were okay. The rest of our group travelled down on the Thursday. We were due to go down on the Friday, but due to the constant horrendous rain all day Friday, we changed the ferry and we went down on the Saturday. The rest of the week was a mixture of wet and dry, but it was cool and very windy. We did manage to get out for some nice rides while we were there, and I always enjoy a ride up the military road. That's great. We were upgraded free of charge to a nice big lodge, which was fantastic, with a balcony to sit out on, but sadly the weather wasn't good enough to do that. We visited all the usual places, but I feel we've seen all we need to see for the time being. Right, so we've just left Godshill after a walk round and a couple of coffees and some nice cake, and now we're making our way to Ventnor. Now here's the one I was looking forward to. A trip down to West Bay on the South Dorset coast. It was booked a year in advance. The weather forecast was to be okay, apart from the odd shower here and there, so all good to go. Well, or so I thought. 2 days before we went, my wife fell ill and then she tested positive for COVID, so we just couldn't go. It's not fair on the friends we were sharing the caravan with. The rest of the group had a good time, and I'm glad they did. But my week was spent sitting around just thinking what I was missing. My wife did mention that I should go without her, but no, I didn't want to do that. We booked it together, and I wanted us to share the holiday together. A few weeks after, some of the group were going to Mablethorpe for a 5-day break, and I was asked to join them. I declined as they were all going by car, But my mate, who I was going to be sharing the caravan with, mentioned that, well, if I take my bike, he would take his. My wife was working, so she couldn't go, but she just said, you go. Alright, deal done, and off we went. Thinking, well, that's it, nothing can go wrong now. Well, that is until the following day when I felt ill. I stuck it out for another day, but just not feeling it. We had planned to ride back on the Friday anyway, but here again it was forecast non-stop heavy rain for the whole 100-mile journey, I should say, back. And with me feeling it anyway, we just decided to return on the Thursday. So that's all the crap negative stuff about the way. So what was positive about the year? Well, we did have some decent day trips out, but sadly they all seemed to be on a weekend when my wife was working. So of course, I missed her being out with me. I went to some good bike meets, and some of them we actually had good dry weather. My small YouTube channel has grown a bit, so it's good to see that some people enjoying what I like to do. There's still a few things to look forward to. There's I hope to still get out for the toy run. As long as there's no snow or ice on the road or some strange named storm or hurricane appears, providing the family of squirrels don't break into my garage and make electrical modifications to my bike's wiring loom, or someone in power heard me sneeze and we have another mass lockdown. The Wednesday morning breakfast meet at Huggies will still continue, no matter what the weather is. As if it's bad, we'll just go in the cars and sit inside. While on the subject of Huggies, it's been absolutely brilliant that some of my subscribers now go there, and it's just great to see them and have a chat. You know who you are, guys, if you're watching this. It's been great to meet you, and you're the reason what makes this channel worth me doing. So thank you very much. If we get any other decent days over the winter, then we'll just still get out for a ride, just add an extra layer of clothing and switch the heated grips on. I think most of us bikers are the same. We get a bike and we say, this is it, I want for nothing more. But 2 weeks down the line, we're still looking at what could be our next bike. So we tend to meet up at bike showrooms somewhere, we grab a cup of coffee and just look and sit on everything going. We normally meet up for a Christmas meal before Christmas. It's just to get together for our group and of course our partners. But now it's time to get the map books out and look on YouTube for ideas of where to go next year. We all tend to put in some input and swap ideas around and to find the destinations. I'm already working on mine. I just need to sort it out with the wife's annual leave from her job. After this year's fails, I am a bit reluctant to book anything now, as you not only lose money, it's also the disappointment that hurts. I'm considering reverting back to my old ways and book short notice, using booking.com or similar, and then choose the pay when you're there option. At least you can cancel at short notice and don't have to pay anything. I did this 2 years ago when we booked to go to Devon. Here again, 2 days before, they had an amazing storm and most of the roads were flooded. So pointless going down on the bike. My wife and I are not going on the Isle of Wight trip next year, as we've done the trip for the last few years, so we're going to give it a miss. I do enjoy it down there, so I definitely will go again at some point, but for now we're just going to have a change. I don't like to dwell on the past. Sometimes you've just got to put things behind you and move on, and that's what I plan to do with 2023. So for 2024 there are a few new places I would like to go, and there's actually quite a few old places I'd like to revisit as I enjoyed them in the past. And now I'm not teaching CBT on some Sundays, at least I'll be free to take the wife out when she actually does get a Sunday off and the weather's decent. So basically it's a goodbye to 2023. Well, good riddance to it really, and I hope 2024 will be a better year. So if you enjoyed this content, please do the ticks, like and subscribe, and as always, take care, ride safe, and bye for now.